We hear in today's gospel reading from John that Jesus says, "The hour is near for the Son of Man to be glorified." And again, "Unless a grain of wheat shall fall to the ground and dies, it remains but a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it produces much fruit." In one sense, Jesus is referring to himself. He's talking about his imminent death on the cross, which is going to happen very soon. But sometimes I wonder, what is it like for a man to know the day and the hour of his own death? I mean, what runs through his mind? I can only imagine that it is very stressful and nerve-wracking, that this anxiety is always ever present before your face. And this reality, I am going to die. I tried to imagine this myself, and I did find it very stressful and nerve-wracking. And one image that really came to mind was the life of Blessed Franz Jagerstatter in the movie The Hidden Life. Some of us have seen it, the final scenes, so spoiler alert. Just before he enters the execution chamber, he's sitting outside on a bench within the prison grounds. It's a bright, sunny day, it's quiet, and you hear the birds chirping. There are a few prison guards around and a few prisoners in line awaiting their turn, but no words are spoken. All you hear is an opening and a closing of a door. Every time this door opens, a prisoner walks in, and you never see them again. And it was the last time that you would see them, and it was a very chilling experience, a stark reality of this is the end. So Blessed Franz Jagerstatter was an SFO during the early times of World War II. He was put to death because of his conscientious objecting to the Nazi regime at the time. I think the reason why this scene was so moving for me was because I felt that in my heart I was in denial, that I didn't want it to end here, after having spent 3 hours of watching his life in the countryside of Austria, all the emotions of the joy and the love he has for his family, the courage and perseverance in his persecutions, and his fidelity to what he believes is right and true. And then in the last final 10 minutes, it just comes to this bench on the prison grounds. And what is the reward of all his perseverance and courage? A lonely and quiet death, just waiting to walk through this door. Jesus continues, "Unless a grain of wheat that falls to the ground and dies, it will not have life. But whoever loves me will follow me. Wherever I am, my servant will follow." Blessed Franz was not alone when he was sentenced to death because he was with Christ. Christ walks ahead of him. Franz follows him, even into the darkness and suffering. Such little quiet acts of sacrifice and resistance has the potential to change a whole society, as we know, through his beatification. I think by watching The Hidden Life, I can imagine what it was like for Christ in his mind as he knew his time was coming. Sometimes I feel in prayer that Christ died for something that was not even his own fault. And it wasn't easy for him either. That he even prayed for himself to be delivered from such a moment, but he chose obedience to the Father out of mercy for the world. Brothers, it's the 5th Sunday of Lent, and Palm Sunday is next week. I'm also wondering, how has my Lenten journey been very sincere? What am I fasting for? how is my prayer life at this moment? What am I going to lay down at the foot of the cross when the hour comes? Jesus reminds us today that the hour is near. However, he faithfully sets for us a model with his own life, a path which gives life, in prayer and in little quiet deeds of good works. Like a consecration of his own life, a love poured out like an oblation for others. As he is lifted up on the cross and in the Eucharist, we wonder in prayer what goes on in the heart of the Lord as we approach this time of Easter. May we also ponder this sentiment of our Lord in this mystery.